Hey guys, what's up? All right, I'm gonna turn this camera around. Let's see who's on with us. Okay. All right, this works. We are scoping from my room here. Hey everybody, glad you could be here. Hello, hello. Where's everybody coming from? So, hi, I am Heather Rebecca Wilson. I am a motivational speaker and multicultural women's success coach. Welcome. We're going to take a few moments here just to, see who shows up. I have a big announcement to share with everybody, so I want to get, I want to give people some time to get here. How's everybody doing? I know this was like the first day of school for a lot of people, and I didn't have to go into work because I work for myself now. Woohoo! Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome. I'm very excited for this scope. I'm very excited. How's everybody doing? I haven't done one this late before, I don't think. Where are you guys from? Hey, welcome. Excellent. So, I guess we'll just get started. So, like I said, I'm Heather Rebecca Wilson. I am a motivational speaker and multicultural women's success coach. Great, we have more people joining. Awesome. So, the big announcement that I wanted to share with you guys, bird pricing happening until September 16th. Hello from Quebec. Hi. And then, the cart will be open for about 2 more weeks, but it'll be a regular price product. So I want to give you some backstory. Hi, everybody. We still have people joining. Hey. So yeah, my big announcement is that registration has opened for Master Your Mix, the Multicultural Woman's Guide to Success. So my inspiration for creating this course was my own personal story. I grew up right outside Washington, D.C. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. I love those hearts. Yeah, I grew up in a very white suburb right outside Washington, D.C. And I'm multiracial. My dad is African American and Irish and Native American, but he would self-identify as Black or African American. And then my mom is from the Philippines, and a lot of Filipinos are mixed with Native Islander, Chinese, Italian, and Spanish. So there are a lot of different people in my family, right? I've got white people in my family, Filipino people, Black people in my family. So I have a, kind of like a rainbow. My family's a big rainbow. And I didn't think it was like a good thing or a bad thing. I just thought, okay, this is just what my family looks like. So, up until I was about 9 years old, I thought that I was just the same as everybody else. And then I found out that a bunch of my friends from school were attending, this dance class or cotillion once a month, where they would get to dress up and hang out with each other and, learn, about manners and what have you. So, being a 9-year-old girl, I decided, well, this sounds like fun. I want to do this. Thank you for the hearts, guys. So, I asked my friends, like, how do I, participate? How do I join in on this? And so they told me that, like, I had to be invited. So, I went to my parents and I said, I really want to do this. Can you, make this happen for me somehow? Can you get me invited to this thing? So, I guess a few days or a few weeks later, my parents came back to me and they said, we talked to Mrs. So-and-so, and she said that, maybe next year you can be invited, right? Maybe next year you can be invited. So, I was like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. I guess next year maybe I can be invited. And then, like, not too much time passed, and I hear from my friends, who, by the way, are 9, right? So they're hearing this from their parents that this class does not allow Black people, right? It's basically like a racist organization. But it seemed to be okay with everybody, which was odd. And honestly really, really hurtful. But, you know, being 9 years old, I really didn't know how to process that. And so what happened was I just basically internalized this idea that I was not good enough and that I was never going to fit in, right? I mean, my dad's Black, my mom's Filipino. Like, obviously, like, I'm not going to get invited to this event ever. So that was basically like the defining moment of my life. Here, I'm going to try and turn this light back on. Sorry. And yeah, I basically learned in that moment that, yeah, I wasn't good enough. I was never going to be, you know, a part of the group, and I needed to be perfect in order to be loved. And so that was the tape that was kind of running through my head for 25 to 30 years after that. Yeah, so that was a tough time for me. And I think, like, you know, for a few years after that, I really kind of struggled with figuring out who I was. I mean, that's very young to be dealing with stuff like that, right? 9, 10 years old. So I remember getting to high school and being so excited to meet all these new African-American students and, you know, anticipating like this was going to be my tribe and they were going to accept me and, you know, I would finally feel like I belonged somewhere. And I remember going to a BSU meeting and walking in and having people that knew me just like look so surprised that I was there. Like, why are you here? Like, you're not Black, or like, we didn't know you were Black. And I think, you know, because I was so insecure, I just bolted and I never went back again. So my hopes were dashed. I thought, you know, I was going to be accepted and I wasn't. So this was just very, very painful for me. So, and, you know, I couldn't deal with it. I mean, at 15, dealing with these types of issues, I just think it was too much. So I basically retreated into an overachiever identity, and I just was like obsessed with, you know, like proving to everybody how perfect I was and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, like I said, that was the tape that was running through my head for many, many years, and it really influenced everything that I did. I mean, I remember even at age 30 or, yeah, no, I think my early 30s, you know, after having gone to an Ivy League school, I still felt like I need to have more letters after my name, right? I need to get a graduate degree, right? Because that's what everybody else in DC is doing. That's where I live right now, and that's where I grew up. So yeah, I was just like always putting tons and tons of pressure on myself, and it was like I was never good enough, and I was always, you know, having to prove myself. You know, and then I remember being in LA in my late 20s, and I was working as a makeup artist, which is, you know, what I thought I wanted to do. And there were aspects of it that I really loved, but ultimately it wasn't intellectually stimulating enough for me. I loved, you know, the relationship aspects of it. Like, I loved, you know, meeting new people, and I loved painting faces. And the truth is that I was using a lot of coaching skills back then. And I think that's why, you know, that's when I first started to realize, you know, hey, you know, like, I'm good with people and I'm a good listener and blah, blah, blah. But I remember just one day while I was working, and it hit me all of a sudden, like, I don't like it here and I'm not happy and I got to figure something out. Like, this is not where I'm supposed to be. And, yeah, it was rough. I mean, I was still single. I, like I said, I wasn't happy in my job. I didn't find it to be fulfilling. And, you know, all my friends were getting married and starting families and buying houses. And I just felt like the biggest loser ever. So, you know, this is like the worst habit that I had. It was just like beating myself up all the time. I was really, really mean to myself, and I was always comparing myself to other people. So anyway, I moved back to DC after living in LA for a while, and it was when I started working. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. When I started working actually at the school that I went to, that I realized, and the catalyst for this realization was this big breakup that I went through. So yeah, I just had a wake up call, and I was, I went through this breakup, and I just felt like such shit about myself. And I remember like calling my brother on the phone and saying, like, I'm so tired and this is so disappointing and I suck, and like mom and dad are going to be so disappointed in me. And, at like 34 or 33, I was saying that my parents are going to be really disappointed in me. So I remember my brother saying, why are you being so hard on yourself? Like, you're really too hard on yourself. And yeah, a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, you know what, you're right, and I don't really know why I'm so hard on myself. So, um, you know, I was intuitively guided to an amazing coach that helped me kind of unpack, you know, why I was so hard on myself. And it all went back to my identity journey, which started, you know, as a kid, as a multiracial kid in a very, very white suburb of DC, you know, ultimately deciding that because she was different, and didn't feel like she felt in anywhere, fit in anywhere, that she wasn't good enough and needed to be perfect. So thank God for that coach. You know, I was really committed to my healing as well. You know, it wasn't like, oh, you know, I really would like to work this out. You know, it wasn't that I was interested. I was committed. So it was a non-negotiable that I was going to heal myself, because I knew that this was like the only limiting belief that was in my way. And if I could get rid of that, then, I was going to blast off into the stratosphere. So I just really committed myself to my healing. So, I don't know, a few months after that, I attended this amazing, hey, thank you for the hearts. I attended this amazing conference in DC called the People of Color Conference, and it was run by the National Association of Independent Schools. And it's a 3-day conference. There are tons of speakers, tons of different workshops, and it's for independent school educators. There's also a student diversity leadership conference that's happening simultaneously. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. And a big part of the conference, sorry this light is going on and off. I'm gonna move this. Sorry, maybe that's a little bit, ugh. Okay, forget it. Anyway, a big part of the conference is participating, and it's optional. Hey, it's Mark. Okay, cool. So, hello. What was I saying? So a big part of the conference is participating in these affinity groups. And for those of you who don't know what an affinity group is, an affinity space or group is like a container in which, you know, people who self-identify in the same way can come together, and, you know, share. And, you know, from this place of like knowing where the other person is coming from because they self-identify in the same way. Not that, you know, multiracial people or multicultural people have like the same experience, right? Like there's one experience. That's certainly not what I'm saying. But, yeah, being in that multiracial, multicultural affinity group was totally life-changing for me. I mean, I had never been in a room with so many people that looked like me. It was crazy. It was like going to church. I was in the room with like 70 other multiracial people, so it was really cool. And when I was growing up, I didn't know any other multiracial people except for my brother and my sister. So, you know, I did not have somebody in my life as a young person to model what it was like to, you know, embrace my multiracial identity in a positive way. So I remember at the end of like the second session, one of the facilitators was like, you know, I want everybody to start humming in this room. Everybody just hum. And then he was like, okay, be quiet. You know, so this is a hum-o-meter. He's like, so I want to just like get your emotional temperature, like how you all are feeling. So, you know, how many people here felt like this was a productive session? You know, we would like get together for like 2 hours and we would have different exercises and activities and get to know each other. And it was really fun. So he was like, how many people here thought this was a productive session? And, you know, everybody hummed really loudly. So like the hum-o-meter went up like pretty high. And then I remember the second question was, you know, how many people in this room feel beautiful? And, you know, as you guys know, because I've been telling the story, like I had been doing a lot of work on myself prior to that conference. So I was feeling good about myself. So, you know, he was like, who here feels beautiful? And I was like, you know, I was humming really loudly. And then I realized that like nobody is humming around me. It's like me and a few other people humming very softly. Thank you for the hearts. And that just broke my heart. I felt horrible after that, because, I mean, I just couldn't understand in the moment, like, there's so many, like, super nice and attractive people here. I cannot believe nobody is, like, celebrating themselves. Like, it just really struck me. And then very quickly I realized, like, oh crap, like, a lot of these people are in the same place that I was in not too long ago, right? Where you don't feel like you fit in anywhere. You don't feel like you're worth anything. You feel misunderstood. You don't feel good enough. And so I left that conference just feeling like I got to do something about this. Like, I feel good, but like all these people in that room, and I considered those people to be my brothers and sisters. Like, all these people, like, they feel like shit about themselves. And like, I can't stand by and not do anything about this. Yeah, I'm getting emotional because it really, really messed with me. So I left just feeling really, really inspired to do something. And so when I got back to school, I decided, hey, thank you for the hearts. Sorry, I really care about this. So I got back to school. I decided that, I wanted to do this presentation on affinity groups because I felt like a lot of people didn't understand what they were and why they were important. And then I was like, I can't just like yell at people about why affinity groups are important. I think I need to tell my own story. And that's what I ended up doing. So in the spring, a few months later, I did this presentation on multiracial identity development, centered around, my story growing up in DC and going to that school and talking about my experiences growing up there. And yeah, and I just really wanted to show people that, like, everybody, no matter their background, deserves a chance to develop a positive self-identity. And so it went over really well. I loved presenting. I think at that point I realized that, like, I wanted to be a speaker. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. And yeah, so that just kind of set me off on this trajectory. So, like, I don't even work at that school anymore because I decided after that, like, I need to be a speaker. I need to be an educator. I need to be talking about these issues. I need to be, educating people on cultural competence and all sorts of stuff. Because I was just so moved. I mean, after my presentation, people kept coming up to me, like, crying. I got lots of, like, notes from people. I got emails, I got gifts, I got cards. And so that was, like, enough to show me that, like, I was going in the right direction and that I was making a difference. So anyway, that's the inspiration for me creating this course. So, yeah. Thanks for being patient, but I'm really sharing from the heart here. So what I'm trying to say is this telecourse is really important to me, and it's my baby, and it's the culmination of all the work that I've done personally and professionally, for like years, as an educator, thank you, as a diversity practitioner, as a coach, as an artist. This is so important to me, and it's really good. It's really good, and I'm sharing with you, all that I've learned along the way, and I'm so happy now. Like I said, I don't work at the school anymore. I work for myself. I'm a multicultural women's success coach, motivational speaker, and entrepreneur, and I travel the world, and yeah, my life is full of joy and adventure and just love and just lots of amazing things. But it's because, like, I was able to work through these limiting beliefs and emotional blocks that I had from childhood, right? Like, I was able to work through all this unfinished business that I had. So the course, like I said, is called Master Your Mix, The Multicultural Woman's Guide to Success. And the way I'm defining multicultural is, if your parents are from two different cultures, or if you were born in one culture and grew up in another, you live in another, right? You grew up in one and live in another. Or if your family culture was different from the majority culture. So that's how I'm defining multicultural. But honestly, you know, I think that anybody could benefit from this course. I think anybody that desires to be a global leader and create transformational change in their community would benefit from this course. I think anybody that wants to be more culturally competent, which means, you know, having the ability to work effectively across differences with curiosity, humility, and judgment, and non-judgment. If you just desire to have better relationships with the people in your life, you know, whether it's your family or your friends, coworkers, joint venture partners, I just care about this so much. That's why it's just very emotional. But I'm just so happy that I get to share what I've been working on with all of you. It's very exciting to me, and it means a lot. Okay, I'm breathing. So yeah, I think this course would be great for anybody. I think, you know, it's for women. I think it's appropriate also for, you know, somebody who's a teenager. I think it's would be appropriate for women of any age that you know, really want to define success for themselves, right? You know, separate from what like society says is what we should have or what our life should look like, separate from what, you know, our cultures may be dictating to us, or separate from what our families have said for us. Like, what is success to you, right? Define that for yourself. And yeah, it's awesome. You guys are gonna love it. So the class starts on October 7th, and it's going to be like from 7 to 8:30. And so it's like every Wednesday. It's 4 different Wednesdays, and there are 4 modules. And the first module is, you know, unpacking your identity journey, right? And every woman has a story. So it's really getting into your story and how your cultural background has, you know, influenced your life, and trying to figure out like what you want to take from it and what you necessarily, you know, what doesn't resonate with you, right? So getting closer to defining success for yourself. The second module is all about your desires and your desired lifestyle. And in that module, we're going to talk about like how connecting to your pleasure and joy actually like fuels you in fulfilling your mission, right? Your purpose in this life. The third module is all about mindset, and that's an awesome, I mean, they're all awesome, but mindset is huge. And so we'll be talking about, you know, just the habits of success that you absolutely need to, you know, bring into your life in order to be the global leader that you're meant to be in this world. And I really do believe that all of us have something special to share. Yeah, I think that's, you know, we're all put on this planet with a purpose and a mission. We just have to like slow down and quiet our minds and, you know, listen to the wisdom that's already inside of us. So yeah, the third module is all about mindset. And then the fourth module is all about your leadership identity and your vision and your purpose, just kind of tying it all together. So every Wednesday evening, you'll call in, you'll get worksheets ahead of time so that you can, you know, look them over and kind of prep beforehand, or look at them when the class starts, you know, or look at them afterwards. So it'll be an hour with a half hour of Q&A afterwards. And then every call will be recorded, so you'll have access to them afterwards, like forever. So if you can't make any of the classes, you know, after you register, it's totally fine. We'll just send you the link to the recording very shortly afterwards. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm super excited. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to share with you about it. So we are in the early bird pricing segment of the launch. So from now until September 16th at 12 p.m. Eastern, you will have access to this course at the early bird price. So that is $297, one payment of $297, or 3 payments of $120. After the 16th, the price goes up to $397 for 1 full payment, or 3 payments of $150. yeah, you're gonna love it. And the first 10 people to purchase the course will get a 90-minute coaching session with me, which I'm really excited to offer you guys. It's gonna be really fun. So early bird pricing, don't forget. You know, and as you've been listening to this, if you've felt like, I don't know, if somebody like came into your mind while you were listening to this, you know, follow your intuition and send them this information. Please share this. If you want to share this Periscope, I think you swipe right. But yeah, if somebody came up into your head that you think might get something out of this, please share it with them. I feel like there's so much good information in here, and there's so much that I want to share. I've put a lot of work into this, and it's awesome. It's so great. I'm so proud of it, and I don't know. I just think that, you know, we are in need of strong women leaders right now. I mean, the world is changing at a rapid pace, and we need strong, capable women leaders right now. So, like, really, there's no time to waste. And, you know, I did design the course with like multicultural and multiracial women in mind, just because I feel like because we're accessible to so many different types of people, we, you know, we can spread a message very, very quickly. I think that gives us an edge as transformational leaders, and I feel like this is the time for us to step up. I feel like multicultural, multiracial people are bridge builders. So, but like I said, you know, it's designed for multiracial or multicultural, you know, women, you know, but I think any woman that has the desire to be a global leader and create transformational change in your community, you're going to love this course. You're going to get a lot out of it. So, and it's another question that's come up is, you know, do I have to be an entrepreneur to do this? And the answer to that is no. I mean, I want artists in here. I want educators in here. I want professionals. I want students in here. This information needs to get out, and I really, really want to share it, and I really care so much about it. So I'm trying to think if there's any other questions. Yeah, if you can't make a class, it's no problem. You will just get the, you know, the link emailed to you later. So don't miss the early bird pricing. Now, do you guys have any questions? I know I've been talking a lot, but I really thought it was important for you guys to understand why I created this course and how much love has gone into it, because a lot of love has gone into it. You've seen it. But thanks for joining me. So I'm going to show you the URL for the course. Okay, so it's heatherrebeccawilson.com /masteryourmix. Check it out. I also have a really cool free training called Growing Up Multiracial to a Global Woman Entrepreneur. It's a free video training. You also get a bonus PDF along with that. So yeah, definitely get on the mailing list. Join the community. I have 2 Facebook groups. One is called the Glamorous Global Entrepreneur, and that's for, you know, fabulous global women entrepreneurs that, you know, want to live big lives, you know, and want to be of service, but also, you know, want to be in their pleasure and joy and not apologize for it. So I'm all about women's empowerment. So if that resonates, head on over there, join, get in the group. I'm really trying to build an amazing community of like-minded, badass women. The other Facebook group that I have is called Mixing It Up in Business, and that is specifically for multicultural or multiracial entrepreneurs. So that's an affinity space. Remember, I told you that's for people who self-identify in the same way. Because I do think there, like I said, there's a special conversation around that, and there are issues that are specific to that identity. And what else? So you guys, I'm on Instagram. My handle is Heather Rebecca Wilson, and then I also just have my Facebook business page, Heather Rebecca Wilson. What else? Well, obviously I'm on Periscope. I am also on YouTube. I have a channel. Please subscribe. I think most of my Periscopes are on there. Not all of them. And I may save some of them to use as bonuses or whatever. But yeah, that's it. I'm so excited for the course. Definitely check it out. Take advantage of the early bird pricing. And like I said, you know, if somebody popped into your head when you were listening to my story, share this with them. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm really, really grateful. Thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable here. Yeah, I'll probably be on Periscope tomorrow. I love this platform. It's super fun. All right, you guys, take care. Thank you so much. Okay, mwah. Bye.